here we go, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up? My name is AJ Writes Crypto. Welcome to the show. Hey, we're doing a live stream. It's been a while since we've done a live stream. I'm really looking forward to this, guys. I do just kind of want to talk to the audience for a minute. I'll give you a little catch up on what's going on with me. You know, I I did not think having a baby would change this much stuff. You know, I kind of thought, I'd be running right back to it. Oh yeah, no problem. But like, it's a lot. It's gnarly. You know what I mean? It is. I kind of thought I'd be able to roll with the punches, right back to content. Not miss a beat and anything. And I was wrong. I was wrong. Jada definitely, needed my help, especially, that first little bit there. I will be a little personal with you guys here. We did have to do a C-section because the baby was in the correct position, and then at the last minute it turned around and she went into labor, and the baby was the wrong direction. So they were like, "Hey, we don't have a choice here." And guys, keep Jada in your thoughts and prayers. I mean, she's a soldier. She's an absolute soldier. She went through a really gnarly abdominal surgery. Is what it is, and that was a lot, and I had to help her with everything. You know what I mean? It wasn't like she just bounced right back. I mean, I was really there for, still am there for every step of the way. And even going to Vegas for the trip was really hard. I mean, thank God, we both have family here on Orcas Island helping us, because it wouldn't have been able to do that work trip. I wouldn't have been able to do it. And so I have been trying to kind of systematically work on a couple things in the background. I can't talk about it all yet, but things are happening in the background. I told all my sponsors, I said, hey guys, listen, like, I'm having a baby. Like, my deliverables, I'm not going to be able to do every live stream, and I'm not going to be able to do everything. I stayed active on Twitter as the best I could, but I had to take a little bit of a break, and it's unfortunate because obviously moving took longer than we thought. The baby thing was a lot different than we thought. And as much as I'd like to come here every day and be my best every day, I mean, you got to take time for yourself. You have to prioritize your family first. And honestly, if it wasn't for this crypto thing, I wouldn't have been able to pull all of this off. I wouldn't have the money I have. I wouldn't have the house I live in. I wouldn't have anything. And I, realized that, AJ, it's time to double down. It's time to double down again. When I, first wanted to really get into crypto, what did I do? I doubled down on myself. I said, I'm going to focus on this. I made my time slots, every half hour plan from the second I woke up to the second I went to bed. And that ultimately landed me the job that I got. And then once I got that job, I doubled down again and wrote 400 videos for one of the largest creators in the space in the span of a few years. And then I started my own channel. I doubled down on myself again. And we've grown this channel to over 25,000 followers in a little over a year, which is absolutely amazing. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And now, we have the baby, and I'm going to double down on myself again. You know what I mean? If someone told me 3 years ago, I actually saw it on my time hop yesterday. I spent my first day working after I moved, working at the BitBoy Crypto Studio. I worked for him remote for a year before I moved there. But 3 years ago yesterday was my first day at the office full time. And if someone would have told me 3 years ago, they tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey man, in 3 years, you're going to blow the doors off of this place. You're going to, get well into the millions. You're going to have your own channel. You're going to have your own everything. You're going to have a baby. If someone would have told me all that this would all happen 3 years ago, I'd have been like, yeah, right, dude. Yeah. Okay. But that's what happens when you double down on yourself. Double down on yourself. If you're at like that crossroad, don't take the path that's easier. Take the path that's a headache. Take the path that's hard to do. Everyone, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And I think that's why, there's such a weird relationship between crypto, people that talk crypto, and the audience, because, obviously you guys want to make money. Obviously, you know what I mean? But it's also like, you got to kind of find the balance of like, what's the proper thing to do? What's the right thing to do? And, and who's just saying whatever someone will pay them to say. And I really have tried to walk that line the best I possibly could. You know what I mean? I mean, guys, if I wanted to do this if I wanted to sell out and do this for money, I mean, I could have done that a long time ago. People have offered me thousands of dollars to talk about some bullshit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stick to my guns. I have always aligned with the projects that have aligned with me. I mean, look at the bottom of the screen here. I'd like to thank all the sponsors: Bitunix, Market Cipher, VeChain, VBetter, Algorand, Decrypted Tax, Polymarket as well. Big shout out to them. I mean, this has been an amazing journey. But I'm saying all this to say to you guys that 3 years from now, in 2028, where will you be? Double down on yourself. Make a decision today. I'm going to double down on myself. I'm going to work harder than I've ever worked in my life. I'm going to put in 10-hour days, and half of it's going to be studying crypto. If you put your, blade to the fire like I did for more than 3 years, really, but 3 years from now, you could be so beside yourself on how far you've come. I didn't think it was possible, and it is. And of course, I had some things were easier for me than it is for other people, but at the same time, I showed up every day. I worked every day. This is my life. This is literally my life. And I made it this way. This is happening like this way because I manifested it and made it true. So I'm going to get into a bunch of stuff here. Got a bunch to talk about. I just kind of wanted to start off catching you guys up. Thanks for being here. Thanks for never bailing on me. Thanks for not, giving up on me. But I had to take some time off. We are going to slowly be working our way back. The goal is to get to a point, hopefully within the next month, maybe by August-ish, mid-August, maybe after Rare Evo. Even the goal is to do 3 live streams a week, with the members only every week. So it might be 3 live streams plus the members, or 2 live streams plus a member. Haven't figured that out yet. And outside of that is to do a pre-record video every single day, no matter what, whether it's a polished price prediction video or just a phone record talking about XRP or whatever. That's what I need to do. I need to once again double down on myself, because if I double down on myself again now with the money that I have now, once we get through this bull market and get through the next, I think, Sunny Lou and I had a really amazing conversation. I just put it out yesterday, talking about the VeChain and everything in the second curve. And he's basically he's postulating that crypto is going through the second curve. And I feel that if I double down on myself right now and get through this bull market, go through the next bear market, and get through the next bull market, I could probably walk somewhere between $50 and $70 million. Like, no bullshit. And if I do that, well, then obviously I'm just going to double down again. I'm going to build a really insane studio. I'm really inspired, actually. I went and hung out with the boys from Sin City Crypto, and guys, they've put $1 million into the studio they have. Like, their studio is insane. Go watch the video I just put out with Sunny. It's insane. It's absolutely insane, the studio they have. And yeah, I'm proud of my little setup here, but like, I just want to double down again. And I don't think I'll ever get to a point where I just flip everyone off and ride off into the sunset. I don't think I'll ever do that. I think it's because, like, I want to help the next person find success or their own version of it, and I think it's one of those things that, I maybe, by the time I'm 40, I'll have a more reduced role. I obviously won't have to grind as hard as I do now, but I also will be at a point where I can pick and choose who I want to work with, pick and choose who I want to help, and find the right people. So, and that's another common denominator, guys. Surround yourself with the right people. I can't stress that enough. If you're the smartest person in your friend group, you need new friends. You need to go to conferences. You need to stick your hand out. You need to you need to level up the people around you. Most people won't ever put themselves in a situation to make this kind of money because they're surrounded by people who think in a lack mentality, who are unable to take risk. And I think that's the thing with a lot of traders. Most traders will never put themselves in a position to make 100 grand in one trade because that's insane to them. Like, you have to level up through time, over time. And I think breaking that relationship that you have with money, which is likely a toxic relationship, you get through that, anything is possible. And, these are all things that I've learned in the past, 3, 4, 5 years in my journey in crypto. So I do thank each and every one of you for being here the whole time. And let's get into the show. And thank you for all the love. My little baby girl, Aria, she is something. She's something. I actually love being a dad. I'm not going to lie. It's actually really fun. So let me check out with the chat here really quick. Trevor Goza, please give an update on your VeChain price prediction. Like your I won't sell to this price and then take most of my profits at this price. Well, that has everything to do with your average buy price, because like even if let's just say, picking random numbers, I think VET could go to 35 cents. I'm just making this up right now. If I think VET could go to 35 cents, all right, but my average buy price is 2 cents, I'm not going to hold the whole bag until it gets to 35. That's insane. That's insane. I'd rather like make smart money. You know what I mean? So here, let me pull up the VeChain chart really fast. And also, guys, very quickly, the new Tesla giveaway is open. It is open. It is going. I mean, if you're not already lined up to get yourself that Tesla, go do that. Here, let's find this. Let me click this over here right there. Boom. Tesla Model 3 giveaway. If you win and you don't want the car, you can accept the value of the car in crypto, which is over $42,000, almost 42.5. Also, 15 people will also win $100 in VeChain, and 10 people will get VeChain merch packs. This is the second Tesla Model 3 giveaway this year. Head over to Twitter here, click the link, sweep widget. And if sweep widget doesn't work, turn off your VPN. And if that doesn't work, change your browser. It has something to do with your browser settings. It worked for 16,000 people last time. So if you can't figure it out, it's something simple. But yeah, so definitely get involved here with the Tesla Model 3 giveaway. This is the second of 4 we're doing this year. And the 4th giveaway in December is rumored to be a Cybertruck. You didn't hear that from me, though. You didn't hear that from me. I'm not. Maybe we are giving away a Cybertruck. I don't know. What if I'm like, yeah, like congratulations, like you did it. You won the Cyber. Great job. A real one. I meant the real one, guys. Okay, the real one. All right. So back to where I was. We were talking about giving away Teslas. That's cool. Definitely do that. And then we were going to talk about VeChain. All right. VET. All right. So we're looking at the daily here. So let's just look at this plainly. All right. Let's just look at this as simple as we possibly can. So we've already kind of had a breakout, retest. Okay. And this support resistance level is obviously extremely important. It would be very bad to see VeChain go under 1.7. I don't think that's going to happen for a plethora of reasons. But let's just look at the little baby run we had back in May. I mean, dude. So we are 68%, 69% below that peak. And that peak is obviously also pretty significant support resistance. So that would be a level you'd want to set an alarm on. All right. And also, obviously, you're going to want to draw this trend line like that, because we're very close to breaking that out. And we're actually very close to putting in another divergence here as well. So, but this is kind of what you got to think to yourself. All right. So say your average buy price is, 2 cents. All right. And the previous high around 8 cents from December was 300%. So you really, so say, even if I think, and this is kind of where some of my projections come from, because VeChain has put in higher highs as time has gone on. And say we get to 26 cents here, although that top would really only put us around 11 cents. Nevertheless, we go from here to 11 cents. That's 500%. Do I think VeChain can do better than that? Yeah, I do. I think VeChain could end up, probably somewhere in the 30s, maybe further, somewhere over here, which would make sense. Previous support resistance back there. And guys, it might seem like it's really far away now, but we're also not in a straight up altcoin bull market right now, are we? So it's really, easy to be a pessimist down here. But, you know, even if we were to do that, you know, something like a 12x, something like that, do I think that's possible? Yeah. But at the same time, it has everything to do with what is your personal goal. It has nothing to do with what a price of a coin can do. It has everything to do with what you need it to do to accomplish your personal goal. Okay. So in a situation like this, you know, just, you know, I'm not giving you my actual numbers here, but let's just say your average buy price is, you know, 2.5 cents. All right. So getting to, you know, 5 cents would be a double up. All right. Would be right around here, getting to 7.5 cents, you know, so maybe 7.5 cents from a 2.5 average would be, you know, 3x. That would probably be a take profit point. All right. And then once you have your initial take profit point, whether that's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% of your bag, generally I want a 4x for most of my stuff. So let's say, so let's just say the current price is my average price, just to make the math easier. And right here would be a 4x. So 4x would be 9.8. So just about 10 cents. So right here, that would be the point where if my goal is a 4x, where I would sell about 70% of my bag, right under 10 cents. All right. And then what? So say we hit 10 cents, I sell, you know, 70% of my bag here. So then the rest of it, you kind of titrate it off as it goes up. Because say VeChain does go to 30 cents. Well, a portion of your bag will still be in there because you only sold 70% of it here. The flip side of this is that say it comes back down and tests support resistance, you know, at 8 cents, I would say that that would be like my parachute level, where if I sold 70% here, and then let's say that was the top, you know, I would lose 20% of the remainder of my bag and I'd sell it there. So basically you need to have a plan to where are you going to make the big sell? Where are you going to sell 70, 60% of your bag? And then how are you going to break down the sales if it continues? And at what point do you pull the parachute? And for each coin, this is a personal journey. I mean, I can't tell you what to do because I don't know your average buy price and I don't know how greedy or smart you want to play this. So across the board, I'm looking at a 4x from my average buy prices. I will settle for a 3 if I think things are going to turn around. But at the end of the day, guys, in what other industry is it basically standard to multiply your money by 3 or 4? That's crazy. That's crazy. And the problem with crypto is that we already have kind of seen the first curve, and there have been, you know, they used to give away 10x's like they were giving out candy at Halloween. And it's not a normal thing. It's not normal to 10x a bag in crypto. That's unheard of. In this day and age, it's going to happen less and less and less and less and less and less. And if you're the type of person that's just going to sit there like I'm not selling until I 10x, you're the person that's never going to sell, and you're going to ride it back to the bottom, and you're never going to sell. And these are the people who lose. These are the people who lose. All right. So simply put, play it smart. My personal goal is a 4x from my average buy price, but I will settle for a 3. I'll sell about 70% at 4x, and the other 30% can be sold if we continue up. And yeah, it's not the most optimal play, but with how much money I have in the market, 4xing what I have, that's a lot of money. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So it's really one of those things, you're going to build it over time. And I actually had a really interesting conversation with a Platinum Telegram group member a little while ago. And he said, AJ, like, you know, man, like, I understand that I'm probably not going to get rich this bull run. Like, I still think I have a lot to learn. There's so many things I don't know that I want to know. I mean, I want to start winning leverage trades. I want to kind of learn more about the projects. I want to learn about, you know, the people behind the curtain. I want to get more involved in the industry. And I understand that this takes time. So I'm kind of thinking to myself, you know, if I could turn my $10,000 into $50,000 this bull run, and then learn how to trade and try to get to $70,000 by the bottom of the next bear market. And then if I buy the bottom of the next bear market and go from there, maybe then the next run I could be close to becoming a millionaire. And that was like I don't even know why I had to talk to this person, because I was like, dude, that's the plan. Take a 2-cycle approach. You're not, unless you are already starting with more than $100,000, you're very likely not going to become a millionaire in one bull run. It's probably not going to happen, because you're probably going to play it wrong. So even if you play it perfect, taking a 2-cycle approach is genius stuff. So one day at a time, guys, one day at a time. Gogger Gang, selling in profits. For sure. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got SWFL, Nadox, Trippy Crypto, Eddie C, Jeff, Dutang, Kamari, Juan, Bernard, Jonathan. Good to see y'all. Thanks for being here. I do really appreciate it. Hey AJ, how's it going? Patiently waiting for alts to move. Hashtag VFam from Manchester. Hey man, very cool. Thanks for tuning in, dude. I do appreciate it. And yeah, man. So it drives me actually a little bit crazy. I do want to talk about VeChain for a minute here. Like, for some reason, I think because VeChain has been around for so long, that there are some people out there that are just like, oh, it's such a shit coin. It's blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, all right, let's be smart. To the haters on Twitter, let's start off with the fact that there's not a successful person I know that complains. I don't know a single successful person, a real successful person, who complains, let alone publicly on the internet, hey, look at me, I'm dumb. That's what you're doing when you do that, okay? That's thing number one. You want to be a troll, LOL. But to say that VeChain is a dead coin and it's never doing anything and blah, 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 blah. All right, well, dead coins. Let me get my chart here. So let's look at this. We got November 5th, 2024. And then September 7th, 2024. So from November 5th to December 7th, VeChain pumped 334% in 30 days. At the end of last year, in 30 days, VeChain pumped 330%. But it's a dead coin? It doesn't look dead to me. It looks like a top 10 performer to me. And if you want to get all mathematical about stuff, I'm pretty sure anything under this level right here in this box, this would be the accumulation zone. Okay. And let's run that tape. So from right here, accumulation zone, from the top of the accumulation zone, not the bottom. So from 2.7, almost 3 cents, we have a 38% pump in 15 days right there. It came back to the top of the accumulation zone. And then we had a 100.2% pump in 34 days right there. And then from the top of the accumulation zone, we had a 205% pump in 23 days right there. We're not even measuring from the bottom. We're measuring from the top. And right now, it's inside the accumulation zone. So you get my point. Shout out to Bitunix, sponsor of the channel. Guys, Bitunix rocks. Bitunix is the best. Let me get out of here so I can find the right page. Sometimes I pull up the partnership tab, and that's not the one you want. Bitunix.com. Am I even logged in on this one? I have to. Oh, that wallet. Okay, got it. So here we are. Bitunix homepage, guys. Bitunix is awesome. This is where I do all my trading, all my buying, all my everything. They have a lot of really good stuff going on now, like the Bitunix Academy, really cool token splash, kind of new launch pad kind of thing. You can copy trade over on Bitunix. A lot of really cool stuff going on here. And the truth here, guys, the reason I like trading here so much is because you go to futures, you click on Bitcoin, look at the amount of volume the volume. Ethereum is outpacing Bitcoin in terms of volume. Solana, 483 million. XRP, 280 million. Pepe, this one, a new one here. VIC, VIC up 84%. We will be taking a look at VIC and Bonk in the Telegram group today. Also, Fartcoin, Sui, WIF, Aave. Aave is one I'm not sleeping on anymore, guys. But what I'm saying is that there is so much volume. It's the best place to trade. No VPN, no KYC. Click the link down below. Get yourself signed up for Bitunix. Definitely shout out to everybody. Got 300 some people watching on Twitter, over 50 people watching on YouTube. Not bad for the first stream back. I appreciate it. Make sure you smash the like so more people see what's going on here. Got a $2 super chat from Dwarf Dennis. What up, AJ? Do you see VET hitting its old all-time high? So by old all-time high, do you mean 2021 or do you mean the one before that? Because this chart here that I'm looking at, I don't even think it goes back that far. Yeah, so this one, the Coinbase one doesn't go back that far. Maybe the Binance one does. Yeah, there we go. Oops. So you're saying the 2021, 28 cents. I don't think it's impossible, dude. I really don't. Like, it's a 13x. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, maybe not this cycle, but do I think that VeChain can eventually build itself back up to there? I mean, I don't think it's impossible. I really don't. I mean, I know, like, I'm a little bit biased because, like, you know, I am a media partner with VeChain and I'm really close friends with Sonny, and I know a lot of the things kind of going on behind the curtain. But, like, let's just look at this at face value. What other layer one crypto project has the exposure that VeChain has? Title sponsor for UFC, title sponsor for Power Slap, PBR bull riding, and the WWE. Dana White is on the board of advisors for VeChain. I don't think it can fail. There's literally a new app where you can earn free crypto, BYB, by working out. You can earn free crypto by going on a walk or drinking coffee. You can earn free crypto doing anything. And I think in terms of like the user experience and like what people are going to gravitate towards with the like lower barrier for entry, there's not a better layer one project than VeChain in terms of exposure and in terms of user experience. Give it time. Give it time. Don't, you know, chase, don't have the mindset, I'm not selling until 28 cents. Don't think like that. But is it possible one day for it to reclaim 28 cents? Yeah, I do. I completely think that that's possible. I really do. All right. Very cool. Also want to give a shout out to Polymarket, big sponsor of the channel. They are absolutely awesome. I just finished filming. The reason this live stream was 10 minutes late because I was filming No Sweat Bets, which is my weekly show where we talk about all of the interesting things I'm looking at with Polymarket. I talk about my pick for Wimbledon. I talk about my pick for the new UFC fight night this weekend, who's going to win the New York election, the Fed decision in July, Israel-Hamas ceasefire, Elon's party, the Super Bowl champion for 2026, how much time Diddy will do in prison, the F1 Drivers Championship, the highest grossing movie of 2025, and what price XRP will hit in July. All of those questions I answer on No Sweat Bets, which will be released very shortly after this live stream. Guys, if you're not watching No Sweat Bets, check it out. Check it out. It's not crypto, it's not technical analysis, but I love Polymarket so much because it's a window to talk about anything and everything. I'm up over $200,000 sports betting this year. It's a sin for me not to talk about that. It's like, what, like, you know what I mean? I can make money a bunch of ways, but it's kind of just like, if I'm really good at something, it's insane for me to be like, oh, it's not crypto, I'm not going to talk about it. No, I'm not doing that. I started doing No Sweats Bets because I wanted to. And if you want to take it or leave it, that's fine. But the people that have been following what I'm doing have been making some money. And that's the point of this show is, yes, to educate you about crypto and to teach you how to trade and teach you how to fish and all this stuff. At the end of the day, it's really about making money. And that's what I want this show to truly be about. All right. And that's what we're doing on No Sweat Bets, making money. So, yeah, check it out. Plume and Kita says, Ellie, are you looking at the new projects? Well, all right, where's my pen? I lost my pen. Oh, there's my pen. So I haven't really, I'm going to be straight up with you. I haven't really gone down the rabbit hole lately on, the newest things in crypto. I have followed, the charts that I normally follow anyway. And I also, hold on, let me write that one down. Where did that KEOETA? Yeah, so I haven't really been going too far down the rabbit hole on like the newer projects coming up. I've really been kind of looking at the charts on the established projects and like what's possible to happen. And also, the coins I look at really are dictated by how much volume they have on Bitunix. Like, like when I look at the like today's volume on the coins for leverage trading, I'm trying to stay above 50 million in volume. I mean, that really narrows it down to anything above Aave. So really these are the charts, and Vic is a new one I want to look at, but like these are the charts I'm really focusing on, because those are the charts that have enough money in volume to get in and out of large leverage trades. So that's really what matters the most to me, because considering leverage trading is kind of where I make my money. But it's also, so in terms of, am I looking up new coins to spot buy? Not really. I mean, you know what I mean? I feel like most of the players that are going to be top 10 performers are already established projects. Yeah, there might be a couple of new Sui's that come out now and then, and I'm sure we'll discover them as we go. But am I like grindstoning to find something outside the top 300? That's not really where my mind is right now. And also because that never has really been my strategy. Like, have I given some pretty sick alpha calls on new coins coming up, like Pal AI back in the day? I called that one before anybody. Yeah, like I do that sometimes. But, that's kind of more of like an information thing and less of like a heavy research thing. So, and it's kind of outside of the wheelhouse of my strategy. My strategy is to isolate which spot coins I think are going to perform the best and put as much into them as I can in the accumulation zone. And then the other bag is to leverage trade. And then the other bag is to sports bet. And the other bag is to buy Cybertrucks. So, yes. So if something doesn't really, that's kind of asking like, hey, what's your favorite place to yield farm? Well, I don't do that. There's a lot of things to do in crypto, and you can make money doing almost all of them. And I think a problem is that I think a lot of people get distracted trying to do a little bit of everything instead of getting really good at like 2 or 3 things. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Do you think the top is in? Hell no. God, no. All right, dude. Donald Trump is in the White House. He's talking about crypto. We're talking the Genius Act already passed. We're talking about, crypto week, the big news story, how it's the whole crypto week in the House and everything. It's going to take time, but if you really think we're not going to see a face melting bull run during the Trump administration, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't believe that, that's a you thing. But is the top in? Absolutely fucking no. And you also have to understand that alts operate different now than they did back in 2021. It's a different game. It's not the same mindset. It's a different market. It's a more mature market in terms of it's not a big multi-year run and a big multi-year fall. It's kind of like a 6 months local top, 6 months back to the same low, pump, give it back, pump, give it back. That's the game now. So if you're not, selling the pumps and buying under 786, 618 Fibonacci, that's you missing the opportunities. You know what I mean? So kind of think of it that the game has changed and adapt to that. Are you watching any of the Infra X stock narrative now? No, not at all. I mean, I can look up a few of these coins. I don't mind researching coins. Like, that's fine with me. I have seen the ticker MSTR coin hood. I don't care about the CR. Well, I don't like that ticker at all. Did he talk about Algorand already? Not yet. Might not. Maybe tomorrow. I was looking at the app and couldn't figure out how to make crypto for charging my Tesla. Okay, Kyle, download the vWorld wallet. vWorld wallet. And that's kind of the door that opens the door to vBetterDAO. Once you have your vWorld wallet, in the vWorld wallet, go to EV connect your wallet, put in the number of your car, and it will do it automatically. It's EV very easy to do, super simple. Oh, he said stock, not crypto. No, I don't do the stock market at all. Oh, MicroStrategy. That's why that ticker made so much. And coin is Coinbase. Okay. I thought you were talking like crypto infrastructure plays. I didn't realize it was stock. Got it. The word stock might have helped me get that part out of the way. All right. Yeah. I don't do the stock market. I don't have a Robinhood account or anything like that. So, okay. Let's keep the ball rolling here. So where was I? Oh yeah. So I wanted to talk about Uniswap. I did mention this to the Telegram group yesterday, and I did talk about this today on Sin City Crypto, but I don't expect everyone to see everything that I do. So I do kind of want to circle back on this idea and expand on this idea to kind of show you guys what I was thinking for this setup. So Uniswap, let me kind of zoom out. Let's zoom out first and then zoom in. Okay. So Uniswap, similar to what I've been saying on this show, has had the have a pump, give it back. Had the pump, give it back. That is the new way. Okay. And keep in mind, we had a pump, give it back, had a pump, give it back. Well, I think it's time to have a pump. And if you look at this kind of pennant triangle form, not a pennant, but this triangle right here, you see there's a very similar setup to what we're seeing right here. It is the exact same setup. And if you look just at Market Cipher, I mean, this is a dream on Market Cipher. Look at that. Anchor wave, trigger wave, pushing into green, pushing, RSIs, pushing. I mean, that it doesn't get much better than that in terms of a setup on Market Cipher. So now kind of zooming back into the 2 hour, we've established the fact that, and also quickly, let me look at like the 4 hour for a second. So this breakout is 8.765 from right here. And previously, when it broke that breakout, from when it broke that alarm level in 32 days, it pumped 121%. And also from here, 94%. And from here, 45%. So we can see that this level, 8765, is a very profitable level for Uniswap. All right. So definitely that is a very large alarm. A couple other things I want you to keep an eye on here really quick. Let me get rid of some of the chart graffiti at the bottom. All right. So a couple things I want you to keep in mind. So now looking at like a 2 hour, first of all, let me fix this. So this uptrend here, it's very important that we respect this uptrend. All right. At what point would I say get out of the way? I would say this support resistance level right there has been a big one. I mean, from starting all the way back here, you can see all the fights and then bounce off of it right there as well. That has been a really big support resistance level for Uniswap. That would be 6.51. All right. So I really don't care that much about this range back and forth here. It is a larger range, but that's not the trade I'm going for. If it was to break down from this trend line and break down below 651 for confirmation, yes, that would be a cut and dry short. And from there, you target previous low. And that would be, that would be the bottom side of the conditional range with about a 27.5% target. That I'm cool with. But that's also not what we're doing here. What we're doing here is looking at the gap. So we got rejected from 876, which has been the level for Uniswap. This is the 16-cent level for Algorand, but for Uniswap, it's 876. And then we have this alarm here at $8. Why do we have this alarm here at $8? Well, once we put this level in and came down, we got rejected at 8, got rejected at 8, got rejected at 8, And as you can see, there's a 76-cent gap between $8 and $8.76. So what does this mean? Yes, although $8.76 is the green light, that's the rocket ship level. This is still a pretty calculated trade here, because we can assume that once we hit 8 and go above it, getting to 8.76 is almost a given, because there's nothing in the middle. And look how quickly it happened when it happened this time. So if Uniswap breaks above 8 cents, we get from 8 cents to 8.76. That's a 9.9% trade to the upside. 10x leverage, that's basically double your money if it works out. That's a no sweat bet. That's a lock. That's a lock in my book. That is what I'm looking at. I also want you guys to pay attention to this downtrend as well. And if you want to get nifty with it and pull in this local pennant here, you could do that. Your point of intersection would be Tuesday the 15th. So a little more than a week away. We will see Uniswap be forced to break down one way or another. But ultimately, guys, with the Genius Act passing and everything going on with stable coins and everything, I want you to start paying attention to DeFi. I want you to look at Aave. I want you to look at Uniswap. I want you to go down that rabbit hole, because I think a lot of those projects are going to see, we're going to see them come back. I did want to take a quick look at CoinGecko just to get a quick overview. Normally do this at the beginning of the show. We'll do it now. Bitcoin, 108,000. A lot of things are a little bit in the red for today. Really, obviously, want to look at gainers and losers so we can isolate, what's really going on here. A lot of things in the red today. Bonk is one that's been trading very well. I'm going to give you a Bonk setup in the Telegram group today. If you want to join the Telegram group, ajalphagroup@gmail.com, send an email down below. Because we took a break to have the baby and everything, if you're in the Telegram group for 1 month, 6 months, 3 months, whatever, everyone's membership got extended a month to make up for the time that I was gone. So thank you for your patience. But we are obviously picking back up on that now. It's happening now. So gainers and losers here, really the biggest gainers, XCC, only 2%, but the story really is altcoins have bled today. Fartcoin, Pudgy, Virtual, SPX, 69,000. That's been one that's been on my eye. I've been seeing that one a lot lately. Also, Hype has been one I've been watching. BitTensor is one I've been watching. Ondo at 77 cents is an absolute steal. Oh my God, what a value buy. And the Pudgy Penguins project, I think that's one that, like, I was right when I bought the Pudgy Penguins project. But I was bad. The timing was bad, but the idea was like spot on the money, because I wasn't like totally wrong. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you like make a call and you're wrong, like that's okay. Shit happens. But like I was from April 8th to local top, 350% in 29 days. And then at retest at the end of June, and then 115% in 12 days. I mean, guys, the Pudgy Penguin coin has that like it factor that a lot of projects don't have, in terms of like community, in terms of like visibility, meme coins, etc. So I do want to do this chart with you guys here pretty quick. So we kind of got this uptrend. We got to talk about respecting that uptrend. All right. And also, if we want to get fancy here, if you want to look at maybe the idea of a bump and run, we have this uptrend as well. So connecting these two here and here, right? So if we break that, we can target this. So that's the perfect bump and run. Also, in terms of level, so local high, 0.17. Okay. Other alarms to look at would be right here, previous support resistance, which we're under right now at 0.15. All right. Other support resistance would be the bottom of this range right there. Okay, because let's actually talk about this level. This level is 0.133. Why is this important? Well, see how much it chopped right here? That's kind of a giveaway for me that this is likely to happen again. Also happen again right here, and a firm rejection from that level right there, just like it chopped for a while here. So when you see like, a chart, stay inside of what I like to call a conditional range right here, it stayed basically inside of this 10%, 11% range for 8 days right here. Okay. So now that we find ourselves back in this range, it's really important to understand the implications that, and also see how quickly it came up from here. Well, that's how quickly it could come back down, which is where the bump and run. So this level is kind of a confirmation on the bump and run idea that would take us back down. So obviously we have a big short alarm here at 0.133. So 0.0133. Let me change the color of these back to white. All right. And then we have the top level here, basically 1.5 cents. Oops. All right. There's that one. And then our target from here would be 173. So that's how I am looking at this one right now. So we have our current conditional range between 0.15 and 0.13. If we short alarm 1.3, we have to make sure we're under this uptrend, and the bump and run concept would come into play here. And if we break 1.5, we long targeting 1.73, and that would be a 15% move to the upside. So, I generally, that would be this target right here. So guys, like, I like to react to the market instead of guess the market. I'm a much better reactor than I am a guesser, and we should all be. And I don't care what happens between 1.5 and 1.33. I do not care. I care about the break of that range, and you should too. Set these alarms, make yourself some money. Very quickly, big shout out to Decrypted Tax, sponsor for the channel. The guy Ernest. If you're really confused about, how to do your crypto taxes, I know most crypto people get an extension until October. So if it's, July for you now and you're unsure on how to do your crypto taxes, send everything to my guy, Ernest Lee here. He is has been a lawyer for forever. Extremely smart guy. He's helped me with so much stuff when it comes to all those difficult questions. The last thing I'm going to do is getting to, a conversation about taxes or no taxes or whatever. But, anytime someone asks me a tax question, I'm going to say, go to decrypted.tax, get a call with Ernest, schedule a free consultation, and correctly do your crypto taxes with a tax professional. Decrypted.tax. Big shout out to my guy Ernest. Also wanted to talk about, where's my videos. Hey, 25.4 thousand. We got from 0.3 to 0.4. That is pretty awesome. Big shout out to everyone in the Grogger gang. Grogger gang growing here. Can't wait to get to 50. Definitely a couple of things I want to talk about. This bet is a lock. This is my no sweat bets from about 2 weeks ago. We got a new no sweat bets coming out today. I missed last week because I was in Vegas. This video right here, can crypto save music? Suede AI. Suede AI is a new sponsor of the channel. And literally, I come from a music background. I used to be a touring musician. And, this is a really genius idea. I think that, I tend to not align myself with up and coming projects unless I think there's a chance. And I think this one has a really good chance because what they're doing is genius. And I'm not going to go fully into it, but watch this video. It's a really good interview with the founder, John, really good guy. And basically, like, you can write a song with AI with a single prompt on Suede AI. And then you can make a record label with one click. And they do this because the music industry is a leech, and the artists are normally left with empty pockets when they're the one that's their intellectual property. And the middlemen destroyed the music industry, and the middlemen destroyed finance, which is why we have crypto. So the whole point is to eliminate the middleman. This is what they're doing, using crypto for the music industry. Big shout out to Suede AI. Check out this video. Really good people. And then, of course, guys, check out, it's a 2-hour podcast format conversation with Sonny Liu. We get some serious alpha about VeChain, about VeChain's future AI integration, which is just insane. And this is a great podcast with one of my closest friends and colleagues in crypto, Sonny Liu. definitely give that one a good view if you haven't already. So big shout out to all the sponsors of the channel: Suede AI, to VeChain, to Polymarket, to Decrypted Tax, Bitunix, Market Cipher, VBetter, Algorand. That's who makes this channel possible. You all are awesome. Okay, Arrow Drone, baby. I feel you. Arrow is one that I hold. I hold it. Slick Rick, AJ, can we check out the Solana chart? Juan says Solana and Sui TA. Okay. Dwarf Dennis, AJ, I'm up 14K profit on H bar. Any recommendations? Honestly, dude, H bar was a top 2 performer last run. In the December run, H bar it went XRP H bar. I mean, and if you're still up, if we fall as far as we fell, and you never sold from December, and you're still up 14 grand, I'd probably just hold the H bar, bro. Like, not financial advice, but like, would I sell at this point to buy something else when what I'm selling was a top 2 performer? No, just hold it, dude. Hold the H bar. I don't know what Plume is, but I am going to look it up. Do I still like AVAX, GRT, and Pyth? Yeah, I do. I think that Pyth, out of the 3, I'm falling less in love with Pyth, and I like Pyth because it's the Oracle on Solana. Like, how can that fail? It's just been one of the, I think it's a patience thing. I think I've been impatient with Pyth, and I think a lot of people have. And I think we saw, what was possible with that, and then we saw what happens to coins that lose their attention, lose their hype just for a little while. And I mean, I don't hold a lot of Pyth, but am I going to sell what I hold? No. Similar to the graph, like, back when I had $100,000 in crypto, and 12% of that was the graph, that was a different time in AJ Writes Crypto in my trajectory. And since then, I've obviously become a millionaire. And do I hold 12% of the graph now? No. But did I sell the graph that I bought back then? Also, no. So I think that it's going to have its day in the sun, and Avalanche, I think, is the strongest of the 3, despite it being the largest cap. Avalanche isn't going anywhere, man. All right, I'm going to do Mike Sweet, thoughts on Midnight's impact on Cardano's price. Actually, so I'm gonna hold off on that question because at Rare Evo, make sure if you guys are in the Vegas area or want to go to an amazing altcoin crypto conference, go to Rare Evo. If you want to get out there, network, meet people, get the ball rolling, get some interviews, or just meet people in crypto, you need to go to conferences. If you want to level up in crypto and you've never been to a conference, there's your missing piece, because you need a network of people. That network of people will be at Rare Evo. Altcoin Daily is going to be there. Wendy's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Everyone's going to be there. And I'm speaking actually on a panel with Mark Manlenberger from Algorand, and I believe someone from Midnight, and someone from, I think it's like a TradFi fintech kind of thing. I forget the third person, but I am doing a panel with Algorand and Midnight and someone else. So I'm going to wait to answer that question until I do that panel, because I think that panel is really going to be, I mean, I've heard that guy speak before. I forget his name off the top of my head, but I think Midnight is awesome. I think that they can't hurt Cardano, I'll tell you that. And I'm gonna hold off on that question until you guys see the interview at Rare Evo. I will be speaking there, and I'm really excited, looking forward to it. ADA or VET, which one would perform better this run? I'd say VeChain. VeChain for sure. I think Cardano will do fine, but from this point right now, I can't say ADA is going to do better. I just can't. Nothing against Cardano. I like Cardano. I hold Cardano. I've always loved Cardano. So don't get me wrong. People, I hate when people, oh, you said, but like, dude, like right now, Cardano is 127% away from its, end the 2020-24 high. VeChain's way more distance, dude. Where VeChain would be 286% away. So yeah, VeChain, and even if you look at, all right, so VeChain, from the low in November to its December high, VeChain 311%. Now let's go back to Cardano. So VeChain did 311. What did Cardano do from this low to this high? 314. Okay, so they're right about the same. They pumped just like literally Cardano did 3% better than VeChain from bottom to top. Interesting. Yeah, I'm still gonna say VeChain though. I'm still gonna say VeChain mainly because VeChain, that Cardano hasn't fallen as far as VeChain has. And because VeChain has fallen further, I think it's more I think the gains are going to be better once we wake back up, if that makes sense. All right. Cool. All right, I'm going to do TA for Solana and Sui, and then we're going to call it a day. Guys, make sure if you haven't already, we are giving away a damn Tesla. Go check it out on Twitter. Tesla Model 3 giveaway. It's pinned to the top of my page. Go sign up for this giveaway. And if you don't want the car, fine. If you win, you get $42,000. I don't know anyone else in crypto who's like, oh, you don't want a car? Here, fine. Here's 42 grand. I don't know anyone else who's doing that. Like, please tell me, where are they? I want to meet them. I want to meet them. We're giving away, this is the second Tesla we're giving away this year. We will give away 4 altogether, and the last one is rumored to be a Cybertruck. All right, so definitely make sure you go get in on that giveaway. Last thing, let's head over to the charts. Okay, we're here. Let's look at Solana first. I'm only doing Solana and Sui, so please don't ask for me to keep going past that. Oh man, that's a dirty chart. Okay, so, oh man, look at this. Solana, this is easy. Cup, handle, obvious, so obvious. And it's right at support resistance too, which is beautiful. Because look, you kind of pull this back here. Where can you see? Okay, perfect. So you guys can see that like right there where that was shut down. And then last time it cleared that 42%, went back home, then did 57%. So we kind of, so this level on Solana at $1.86.7. So that's a big alarm. 186.7. Oh, not comma 7.7. All right. So that's a really big alarm because we had big pump, came back home, big pump, lost it. And now we've kind of formed this divot. Now we're forming the handle on the cup. And I also really like to see the green dot on market cipher B on the daily chart. That's pretty significant. That gives me a lot of hope here for, if it's going to get back to the top of the handle here, get our measured move here, pull this up. And of course, like it always almost does, takes us right to support resistance like it does most of the time. Now, from our current price to the top of the measured move, that'd be 86% back to 275. And from the breakout point, 186 to the top of the measured move is 48.8%. So that is obviously what we're looking at here for Solana. Cup and handle set up, cut and dry. Also, you want to alarm this uptrend. That uptrend is a very big deal to set an alarm on. I also wanted to see if you draw this out. All right, so if you kind of come back to where Solana picked back up in 2023 and you draw that line over and to connect to this low here from April of 2025, you'll get this angle as well. The reason I drew that is because, say, there's been big support resistance right here on Solana at 127. And say, what I'm saying is that if Solana loses this, we could bump and run to this longer term uptrend. So keep that in mind if you're, like day trading Solana, that is a possibility. If for some reason we had a breakdown, that would be my target. Also, local range stuff for Solana. This kind of, gets me excited when you kind of see a setup like this. So 145 and 159. And since right here, Solana has been trading inside of a 9% range for 10 days and 2 hours. So locally speaking, scalp trade speaking, that would be 159.34, 159.34. And then the end of this one would be 145.27, 145.27. And that is how I would navigate this. I don't care what happens here. This means nothing. The break of that's a long, the loss of that's a short. There you go for Solana. All right, now let's look at Sui. look at the daily. Oh, this is an old Telegram chart. I will show you a different one. All right, so Sui is really interesting setup, man. It really is. I am a lot of things, have put in the, so you kind of got to think in like in chunks, right? So you kind of had this downtrend and you had this breakout, right? So now here we are again. We have this downtrend. And when is this going to break out? So that's kind of question number one. Or when are we going to see a repeat of downtrend breakout, downtrend? So the next thing in line to happen is the breakout. So we got to leave that there. We also want to keep in mind the long-term uptrend that is still being respected. It kind of dipped there one time, but I'm not that worried about that. And the point of intersection between an uptrend that started back in August of 2024 and this local downtrend would be August 5th. So by August 5th, SWI is either going to break out of the short-term downtrend or lose a long-term uptrend. And, 9 times out of 10, the trend line that breaks is the one that has been forming for the shorter amount of time. So I'm postulating that SWI is much more likely to break up out of the local downtrend than it is to lose the local uptrend. All right. And then, of course, we have to take this into consideration as well, because we have the local downtrend and then we have the more macro downtrend. So if we were to, set an alarm on SWI here at this top, which makes complete sense because it's floor ceiling support resistance here at 310.5. Let me type that down, 310.5. Okay. So we have the floor. Okay. We have the floor and the ceiling again. And obviously for us to break above this downtrend, we'd have to, if we break this support resistance level, we would already have broken this downtrend, right? So that would kind of consider us. And then from that point, we could target this downtrend. So we kind of come from here, depending on how long it takes, that could be a 15% trade or a 12% trade. So you're basically targeting this white circle downtrend if SWI gets above 310. All right. And then for the other side of the conditional range, let's zoom into a 2-hour. So 310 is a big alarm, as well as all of the levels I gave you. We could pay attention to the local uptrend here if you want to. That's not a bad alarm to set. And then also I would actually give this one a little bit of room. Well, yeah, actually I'm going to zoom in further. Let's do a 23-minute chart. All right, so we got the death cross on the 23-minute. Let me get this out of the way. All right, so let's talk about this box first. All right, so here's our bottom, and here's our top, right there. Okay, and for the last 3 days and 18 hours, SWI has been ranging inside of a 5% range. So the bottom of this range is 2.822, and the top of this range is 2.966. So that's the scalp conditional range, but also kind of keep that in mind, the implications, because if we lose 282, that would also be a breakdown of this shorter uptrend that's formed back in June. Okay. So the implication there is that when you zoom back out, the bump and run is actually all the way down here. So is that a target? Also 265 would be a target, 254 would be a target, and local low at 231 would be a target. So that's kind of the targets if we were to lose 282. But ultimately we have our bigger ideas. Like we said, we have all the trend lines pointed out with the implications. Big giant alarm at 310. That's the breakout alarm. But the scalp alarm is 296.6 and the short scalp alarm is 282.2. And that's some of the best TA you'll get anywhere in the world, brought by yours truly. So guys, there you go. You guys are awesome. You guys, man, I love this community. Thanks for each and every one of you. I'm obviously, it's our first live stream back in a month, basically, had a baby, no big deal. We're going to build it back up. I'm so grateful for the past couple of years, this journey I've had. I'm not going anywhere. We're gonna pick back up like we never have before. Thank you for all of you that stuck with me through this whole time. I gotta download the no sweat bets video. Stay tuned for that. Got a lot of really good concepts on no sweat bets coming here in a little while. Probably in the next half hour, it'll be on YouTube. So until then, have a safe rest of your day, everybody. Smash the like button on your way out the door. Make sure you sign up for the Tesla giveaway. Get rich or get wrecked. All right. Peace.